All praises due to the Most High, family. We back with another Acres anime review. You can see by the smile on my face, this was a good one. We talking about episode of the year. We talking about anime of the year. Hands down, debate your mom, not me. Cause it's sewed up, it's tied up, it's declared. Real quick, family, you notice my shirt is half on. I busted my ass on my bike the other day. It probably looked hilarious. Like, if you seen it, it probably would have looked funny to you. But I really busted my ass. Anyhow, let's get into the anime. I just watched the season finale for Clevatess. And if y'all seen my other reviews, y'all know I was feeling this anime. This was by far the best episode of the season. I don't want to get too hyperbolic on y'all. I don't want to say by far. Let me think about it for a minute. I just finished watching this episode. But off the top of my mind, family, this is the best episode of anime I've watched all 2025. No cap. I'm not lying. Best episode. So let's get into it. Okay, so last episode, we seen that Clint, was confronting the former king who he took out himself because he was trying to sacrifice Luna. I forgot his real name, but the baby that we know is Luna. The former king was trying to sacrifice him to the forge behind the Book of Toa. So basically this book was manipulating the kings. I was about to say the whole royal family. This book, The Forge, was manipulating all of the Hedonian kings, right? And it was like making them act and move in a certain way. So Clint realized this, and he stopped the former king from sacrificing Luna. So Luna is not susceptible to this type of manipulation moving forward. Okay, now last episode, Clint basically said, hey, you know what? This is some human mess, and I can really just go back to my human, and I can just chill where I'm at, and I'm good, right? Because we see, if you recall from the first episode, Clevatess mentioned, I haven't seen a human in 1,000 years. I believe that lines up with the timeline that Drell was talking about, where these original humans and the true heroes were reigning, right? So according to Drell, that's the last time that these original humans were there. So that leads us to believe that an original human or a group of original humans formed this Book of Toa, and that's like perpetuated this cycle of action that makes the kings send heroes out to slay dark beasts that they know they're ill-equipped and not strong enough to slay. Follow me. So Clint was basically saying, he's like, well, they not strong enough to handle me, and this ain't none of my business. So Clint was about to go home. He dropped Luna, which broke my heart, and he was finna leave. Family, when I tell you that Alicia is the GOAT, Alicia from Clevatess is the GOAT. I think she's my favorite character of 2025. Did Freerin come out this year? Did Freerin finish in 2025? Because I really mess with Freerin also. But Alicia is up there. Off the top of my mind, she's my favorite character of the calendar year. I'm not. Look, I wish I could tell you I was exaggerating. I'm not. She calls out Clint. I don't know how she was able to know what he was doing. I mean, we know they're tied with Dark Eater, but I thought that was a one-way street. Like, Clyn could see what Alicia was seeing, but I didn't realize that Alicia could also see what Clyn was seeing. So that's how she knows what's going on between Clyn and Luna and the former king, while she's literally fighting Drell outside. Clyn is inside doing his thing. Alicia is outside fighting Drell doing her thing. She knew what was going on in there. And so she calls Clyn out. She says, "What? You gonna quit right now? What?" And she asks her, she's like, "Well, you tell me what." She's like, "You gonna leave on the idea, like this concept that human nature is predetermined?" She said, "Look at that baby and tell me what color that baby's eyes is." And her point was, she's like, "You tell me that that baby's life is already predetermined. Wasn't the reason you took the baby to begin with was to prove to yourself that it wasn't or was predetermined? And we barely even got started. You're already going to quit on the mission you assigned yourself." So she called Clyn out in a beautiful way. And eventually Clyn answers. He's like, "Wow, this baby got pale purple eyes." And when Luna stood up and walked to, first of all, the way Luna was crying out for Clyn was like, I guess it was to be expected, but like it was still surprising in a way. It still hit. But then when Luna got up and started walking towards Clyn, okay, I need enough time to talk about everything else. Alicia did her big one, defeating Drell. So obviously Clyn giving up was motivation for her. She said, "What, you quitting now?" And she was like, "Nah, let me tie this up and get back to calling Clyn out and get him straightened out." It was crazy to see her reattach her hand to her regalia. And as soon as her wrist reattached, I knew the rising dragon attack was coming. I knew that was the move she was gonna pull. And it was chef's kiss, perfectly executed. 2-3 episodes ago, we saw the queen, Tiala, swing her hammer in hopes to break Drell's regalia. And finally, we got confirmation that she hit it. It didn't break. It didn't break until right now. But Alicia said behind that, I don't know if she knew that Alicia swung, that the queen swung on it. I don't know if she knew, but she said herself that the sword was a target, not necessarily Drell himself. And so she did her strongest attack against the regalia. Now she got hit doing it. Drell was like, like you ain't no real hero. He's still standing on that. He's like, it's only fake heroes nowadays. And so he was able to strike Alicia twice before she really struck his sword. And because she struck his sword and not him, Drell was thinking, this fake hero, I done dispatched her so easily. And he started talking his mess. Alicia said, the sword was my real target. The sword, the regalia broke. And this is what Alicia knew. His dark beast, like basically, he's seen that Drell was defeated. He's like, "Oh, the regalia is broken. You're not useful anymore." And Drell's totally made of dark eater. So he removed all his powers. Drell's no more, right? Then we celebrate. All of his army retreats. And then we reunite Luna and Tiala. And Clyn says, I didn't know if Clyn was going to give the baby up because he trying to see what's going to happen with the king, right? He basically says, the king has returned. And I know you want your baby. The king has to return on his own 2 feet. So he makes Luna, and Tiala waits there to watch Luna walk and reunite with his mother on his own 2 feet. Basically his first time walking. I mean, technically his second time, but really his first time walking. Luna, Nell, Alicia, Tiala, all mind blown. What? The king is walking, Luna's walking. And then we're rewarded. I didn't have enough time, family. But the queen asked, hey, y'all saved the village. Y'all brought my son back. What do y'all want? Clem says, I want to be the magic teacher of Luna. So we get in season 2.